Okay, so let's see if everything is fine. All right. Okay, so hello everyone, and welcome to today's live stream. Today we are going to be working on the university HacktheBox machine, and our focus is going to be on only the first part, which is gaining the initial user access. And something to note about this box is it has some Active Directory stuff in it, and if I'm going to be honest, AD isn't exactly my stronghold, so if I make any few mistakes along the way, bear with me. That is the fun of doing it live here. So I will walk you through each step so you can see exactly how I approach this. And just so you know, in the next live stream, we will continue from here and work on privilege escalation to gain access to the root machine. So having said that, so let's dive in. So the very first thing we want to do is, you can see the university machine right here, and we have our IP address. So first thing I want to do is to grab my IP address, and we can just initiate a preliminary scan. But the very first thing we will want to do is change directory to document, and let's just create a directory called, let's see, I think I have YouTube. No, I do not. So let's make directory called YouTube, and we want to change directory to YouTube. Then here we want to make sure that we have another directory called university, which is where we're going to be running some of the command on this machine. So we're going to change directory to university. And while on the university, we want to run an nmap scan. We might want to include SV and maybe PN. We're dealing with window right here, so the IP address can also be included right here. So while our scan is going on, we'll just take a moment to see our chat section. Probably we have some people joining us. Okay, so let me just drop something there. I think I have issue with my chat section yet again. Let's see if we can try to fix that problem. Okay, so I think we're good to go. Okay, so I think our scan is done, and what I'm just going to do is I'm going to grab this. Let's just go into here. Okay, so I want to make sure that I have, let me just do away with the existing Close without saving. Close without saving. Okay, great. So we have a couple of ports which are open here. We have the port 53, port 80, port 88, port 135, port 139, 389, 445, 464. Do we have any other interesting ports? I do not think so. We also have the SMB2 security mode, message signing enabled, and it is required. Okay, so the service detection performed. Please report any incorrect result at. All right. Okay, good. So we're just going to keep this somewhere, and we're going to try to look at, do we have an interface to our web application, since we can see that we are running port 80 and it happens to be the Nginx 1.24.0. so I'm going to just make sure that I grab my IP address once more. I might want to use a different browser for this, so I'm going to launch my Chrome. And I'm also going to spawn up my Bob suite just to make sure that we're capturing requests. Bob suite. I don't know if I spelled that correctly. All right, good. So I'm going to just paste our IP address in there. And I think we have the interface for the web application. And while this is coming up, I mean the Bob suite, we might want to just check around what we have on this application. So this is hosted on Nginx according to our Nmap scan. And you can see that we can play around some of the menu within the application. You can as well try to view the page source of the application. Probably we have some information. You can see that we're dealing with some JavaScript files, some basic HTML, CSS on the page source. So I'm just going to ignore that. And we're going to try to click around. You can see that we can browse courses right here, and we could not do much here because it's just telling us to actually log in the application. And as of now, we do not really have any credential for any account. We can also see that we can log into the application using signed certificates, which is interesting. And if you go to how it works, let's see what we have. We just have the normal logic flow of the application, that you have to search for a course, you have to enroll in the course, and you have to study the course lecture and possibly maybe take assessment or whatever is involved in the course. So aside from that, we also have the facts. From the facts, we do not really have much. These are just a few of the informations that we have. So what I'm going to be considering, in order not to waste much of our time, is the register menu. So while we are trying to check that, let me just use a moment to take a look at our chat section. I do not think we have anybody in the chat section. All right, good. So we're going to use the register, and you can see that you can actually register to account. You can either register as a student account or professor account. So we could try to see if we can create an account under the professor section here. So I'm going to just try to enter, let's say prof. Let's just use prof. Let's use prof at let's use university.htb. Now there's something you have to be mindful of. You can see that having just pasted the IP address into my URL box here, it just brought up the university.htb, but yours might not be the case. You might need to possibly modify your host file by simply just going to sudo you can just say sublime etc/host file, and from here you can do some modification. So you can see that I still have my IP address resolving to university.htb in my host file. That is why I'm able to navigate through. So you might need to also append this to your host file before you'll be able to access this particular domain name, university.htb. So I'm going to use the prof@university.htb as our email, and for password, let's just try something very simple. Let's just use prof12345 and let's see if that is going to work. Prof12345, and I'm going to register. Okay, so I think it's registered successfully. So I'm just going to try to take note of that. So professor, we create account, created professor account. So we use prof, username to be prof, email to be prof@university.htb, and then password, which is essential, to be prof123456. So we might be needing this later. So we're just going to go back, and I might want to switch my Foxy proxy to Bob so that Bob will be able to capture our requests. All right, good. So let's try to log in. So we might want to use prof as the username and prof123456 as the password, and we're going to log in. Okay, I think we have issue right there. We have some issue right there. Okay, our Bob suite still hasn't loaded successfully yet, so I'm going to click next, start Bob, and this is just going to take about 30 seconds. So while we're waiting for this, let's just check out what we have. Okay, so I don't think we have anyone on the chart. So all right, great. So I think our Bob suite is ready. So we're going to try that again. Prof as the username, prof123456 as a password. So it says, sorry, this account is not activated and cannot be authenticated. So it means that an action needs to be in place before we are able to use any account created from this particular endpoint here. So that means this is a dead end for now. So what we're going to do is we're going to create another account. So this time I'm going to create student account, and I'm just going to call this, let's call it R007. That's fine. We're going to call this R007 as well, and we're going to use at university.htb. That is the email, And our password, we're going to use let's just use the previous password we use, which is prof123456. prof123456. So I'll just quickly document that. So right now we created, or we're about to create, student account. And for username, let me just replicate what we have here. It's going to be R007, and this is going to be R007 as well, and the password is going to remain the same. So let's try and see if this is going to create a new account. Okay, I think that worked. And we might want to see if this is picking that up, if our Bob suite is picking the requests, and you can see it right here. You can try to right click and add this to scope, and then we can go to our HTTP history and make sure that we are filtering to show only in scope items. And you can see some of the requests I just sent out. So right now, we now have an account called R007 with the password called prof123456. We can attempt to log in. Okay, good. So you can see that this is actually logging us into the application, which is interesting. And when we are logged in, you might want to see or check out the Wapalizer to see what we are dealing with here. And you can see some of the technologies we're dealing with. We're dealing with Django. We're also dealing with Nginx, which we already found out using the Nmap. jQuery, we have Google Maps. I think there's a map on the application as well. So we have the UI framework to be Bootstrap and Python programming language. All right. So considering what we have here, we might try to see, okay, what can we do from this environment here? So we have some input field, which you might want to try, maybe some XSS, some SQL injection, and other things that you want to do. So for example, I can see that I have an option here to modify my bio. So I might want to say, okay, so let's try some HTML stuff here. So let's say H1 and hello, this is R007 and we want to close, and let's see, can we submit? Okay, so we have to fill this, so I'm going to use R007 as well. Is there any other thing we need to fill? Of course, we have to fill last name. So this is first name, and let's just repeat the same thing for the last name. Of course, we need an address. Let's say Abuja, Nigeria, and I'm going to submit. All right, nice. So do we have a section? You can see what happened, that our simple HTML tag has been executed, and you can see that our bio is now showing in H1 attribute, which is what we declared earlier. So we might want to inject some payload into this section of the application. Try to execute some maybe command like cross-site scripting or whatever it is. So I might want to just see, can I try script and possibly do an alert. Hello, just close this and try to see just basic script. If it gets triggered, I think everything is fine. So you might want to check out other input feed as well, and possibly leave a comment in the comment section if you discover any other injection points on this particular page of the application, which is the account/profile. So what we have here is, you can see that the script tag has been filtered out, which means there are some validation that is actually taking place, even though we can use some of the HTML tags here. We can do some HTML injection, but some of the JavaScript keyword are being filtered out of this particular page. So what we can do right now is to actually look at some other section of the page. For example, if you go to the profile right here at the top right corner, we have a functionality called profile export, which we can click on, and you see something happen. It tried to download profile.pdf. Now if we go into our Bob suite and try to see the requests that was sent, and of course you can see that we have some get requests and also we have some post requests here. So I'm going to just review what we have. For example, on this get request sent to /account/profile/pdf, you can see that it is trying to fetch a particular PDF, and you can see it here, PDF 1.4, and this happens to be report lab generated PDF document. So we might want to know what this report lab generated PDF document is all about. So I'll just kind of copy this, and we can do some basic search. So let's try to see what that is. And I think this first link will do justice to that. Let's see what's this. So while that is coming up, I will just see, do we have okay, so I think we're good to go. All right, nice. So this is still coming up. All right, so let's see, what does it say about this? Nothing much. Let's go with the first PDF file we saw.
We're chasing the echoes of silent screams, caught in the spell of the cosmic night, where fantasies bloom in the pale moonlight. We'll let go of all that we know and dance in the stardust.
Okay, so let's see. Can I just quickly modify one or two things about this stream? I think I made this modification earlier. We still live? Sorry about that. I think I started the lab as the live stream as unlisted, so I had to just go and modify some settings into displaying it as public. But having done that, you can see what we have. We're still talking about Report Lab PDF library. So let's see what the user guide is. I do not really want to download any file. Okay, great. So what is Report Lab PDF library? This is a software library that lets you directly create documents in Adobe portable document format using the Python programming language. It also creates charts and data graphics in various bitmap and vector format as well as PDF. Okay, so we can see that this is the technology that was used to generate the PDF file we saw earlier. I think I did not download that. Did I? Don't think I did download that. But I think I still have the request. So this PDF document that we try to actually generate is using Report Lab generated PDF document. So we might want to check, do we have any vulnerability that is associated with this particular technology or with this particular Report Lab? And we might want to just see. So let's go with Report Lab vulnerability. So let's see if we can get something come up. All right, so the very first thing we have is we have CVE 2023-33733. So let's check that out and see what it is all about. It's taking a while. All right, so this particular CVE vulnerability in Report Lab PDF toolkit, I think was discovered May 31st, 2023. What else do we have about it? A working exploit has been publicly released for a remote code execution, which is interesting. Impacting Report Lab toolkit Python libraries of version prior to 3.6.13. Do we have a version? I don't think we have any version of this. It is not stating any version currently, okay, which is okay. What else do we have about it? It just gave us a CVE name. So what we're going to try to do is grab this CVE and possibly check GitHub exploits for some exploit code, and let's see what we're able to come up with. So we have one which is Report Lab vulnerable to remote code execution. So let's see if this is what we're looking at. Of course, I'm confident enough that this is not going to tell us what version of Report Lab the application is using, but let me just check anyway. I don't think it's going to indicate any information about the Report Lab. Okay, so we have nothing about Report Labs. So let's see what we have here. Oh, we just have a bunch of links, which is not precise. So we're going to go back and possibly refine our Google search. Oh, we have something on L4K1. So let me check this out. It's not what I was looking for. So let's just refine our search a bit. So let's say report lab generated PDF vulnerability instead. And possibly we might have something different. Still nothing on GitHub. Let's see, do I have resources on this particular exploit? Do I? Let's see. I think I've accessed the page before, but it doesn't seem to point to. Let's check this out. Open in a new tab. I think this is what I was looking for. So this vulnerability is talking about, let's see, code injection vulnerability in report lab Python library, and the write-up details how RCE in report lab was found and exploited due to prevalence of report lab in HTML to PDF processing. Okay, I think that is what we're dealing with as well. The library as known is 2019 similar exploit leading to remote code execution. I don't want to dwell much on this in order not to complicate things. Let's just see where the exploit is. So on the final exploit, I don't think that is it. Okay, I think we're there. With this technique, the exploit code can be rewritten in one line of code like this. This is considered one line X. The multi-line here is just formatting to increase readability of the exploit. The declaration should be read from bottom to X. Weird, but this is how it works. So this is the payload that was used in this particular POC. But if you take a look at it, what it is trying to execute is just trying to run touch / temp / exploited. This is just what it is trying to execute. So, but we want to make our own a bit malicious. So we're going to be modifying this particular exploit, and we're not just going to be executing /temp touch / temp / exploited. Instead, we're going to be trying to connect back to our system to gain a reverse shell. Now I have a bit, since I don't want to waste much time, what I've done is I have modified this particular exploit a bit. So I'm just going to grab the new copy, since it's just a one-liner, instead of actually formatting it in this way. So I'm just going to call this report lab exploits. So this is it, and you can now see that instead of executing touch, we are doing something other than that. So what we're trying to do here is we're using call to actually run. So we're going to modify this to our IP address very soon, and we're using port, which is the port we're going to be starting to listing on, and we're going to be executing rev shell. Now we have to make sure that the reverse shell that we're going to specify in this particular payload is going to be a window reverse shell and not a Linux reverse shell. So we're also going to pipe this and execute it using Python, because we're dealing with report lab, which is a Python based PDF processing application. So we also have, what else do we have? I think those are the most important information that we need to be careful of. So if I go back a bit, I think I have, if I'm not mistaken, let's just search Windows reverse shell. I don't know if I still have a copy of it. Reverse shell. I don't think I do. So I think I need to add that to my notes, but I'm just going to fetch it from my second Notion account. So let's just grab that. So quickly, what we're going to do is we're going to create a file called, let's just call it revshell.py, and I'm going to paste it into the script. We need to do some modifications. First thing we want to do is we need to know what port we want to listen on. So we're going to stick with the 1, 2, 3, 4, but the 10.10.15.8 is going to change. Of course, you can see that our IP address has changed, so we need to use the 14.229, and we're using 1, 2, 3, 4 right here. So I'm going to save this. I don't think we need to modify any other thing. Just for formality purpose, I'm going to do change mode, and I'm going to add executable to the file just to make it executable. So now if you check the properties, you can see that it is executable. All right, so let's go back. What else can we do? So seeing the name is revshell.py, we also have, so we've specified this already, 444. So is there any other thing we need to modify? I don't think there's any other thing. Okay, so first of all, Let's just reduce this a bit. So might want to split the screen. Let's split it top and bottom. All right, great. So let's start up the server. Let's just use Python here. You might decide to use PHP as well if you want. -m. We want to use http.server, and we want to start this on, let's just use 444. I think everything is okay. So our local server have started, and the other thing we want to do is we want to use ncat-nlvp, and we want to do this on 1234 since our payload is having port 1234. Where is it? The rev shell payload, which is this one. So we want to keep that as 1234, and I think we're good to go. So what we want to do right now is let's do a bit of modification here as well. So I'm changing this to my local IP, which is your tune 0, and this is 229. You can also get this at the top of your screen here. So I'm going to fetch this. So what we're going to do is we're going to paste it in here. And we're going to submit. Okay, so let's try to see how the application treated that. So that is not it. This is not it. So I think this looks like it. So it is performing some URL encoding here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it again. So let's just do hello and submit this, so that we'll be able to spot. So where is the hello? Where is it? Where are you? This should be a post request. Where do we have hello? Okay, so this is it. So this is what we are taking a look at. So I might want to inject my payload into this section. So what we're going to do is go grab our payload. And let's send this to repeater. We're going to replace hello with our payload. Hopefully this is going to work. I might want to duplicate it in case if it fails. And I'm going to send. Okay, so that was fast. I don't think we have any response. Let's just verify what we have. I think this should be on. YouTube. Where do you have the YouTube directory? Okay, is it revshell.py? Revshell Hope I spelled it correctly. So everything looks correct.
We lose ourselves in the rhythm divine. Underneath the sky painted with dreams, we're chasing the echoes of silent screams. Caught in the spell of the cosmic
So
where fantasies
what I'm going to do is
let go of all.
let's check that again.
Dance in the stardust, gentle flow. Dancing in the stardust, we're weightless and free in a world of wonders.
I think everything is correct. So let's try to export now.
As we twirl in the